What's poppin' YouTube? Today is going to be a different type of video. I'm going to be explaining what guns people should be using on the 2.08 patch. I've taken statistics into which guns pros have been using in Valorant tourneys the most. As always, timestamps will be in the description. Make sure you clap that like button's cheeks and join the nation today. And with that, let's begin. Recently, there has been a rise in usage of Sheriff during pistol rounds. The reason you don't want to buy a Sheriff is the same reason you don't want to buy all abilities first round. With the Sheriff, if you win pistol round, you're not going to be using it next round anyways. I'll explain later. And if you lose, the opponent gains a Sheriff for their op player next round in the case that they save. On top of all of that, you have no abilities and provide nothing for the team other than firepower, which Ghost or Frenzy can do with added abilities. The same goes for if you buy all abilities first round. You are susceptible to those that have guns, and you don't have the added firepower to do the damage to those who bought light shields. I recommend structuring your buy around Classic plus light shields, or Frenzy or Ghost. You might be asking, what should I buy then? The answer is not as simple as Frenzy for short distance, Ghost for long distance, and Classic plus light shields if your abilities are important, though these are important. We have to take the matchups against each other into consideration. Mathematically, Frenzy users beat light shield users faster than Ghost users because of the fire rate, so Frenzy beats light shields. Light shields users beat Ghost users because they prevent one-shot headshots from a Ghost. And finally, a Ghost user beats Frenzy users because they can one-shot headshot them. Next time you are deciding which gun to buy pistol round, keep these matchups between each other in mind. Next round after pistol round depends on whether you won or lost pistol round. In the case that you win, you should be buying as much as you can, which generally looks like Spectres plus heavy shields. You can also buy Bulldog plus light shields because it will one-shot headshot the other team for this round. In the case that you lost, you should save with buying only abilities, no shields, no guns, so that you can full buy next round, because in this round, this will be the largest gap in credits throughout the whole game. If you buy this round right after you lose, this will spiral quickly and it will seem like you'll never have enough credits. That being said, this is one of the only rounds you should ever fully save, because every round after this, you will always have enough money for a light buy. Speaking of light buy, every round after this, it will depend on how much credits you have. A light buy looks like a Sheriff plus abilities and no shields, so around 1400 credits. You are trying to save this round so that you can full buy next round while trying to do eco damage with the one-shot headshot on Sheriff. In the case that you have money as a team but you don't have enough for a full buy, you can tell your team to force buy. This looks like a Spectre plus heavy shields plus abilities, around 3200 credits. Again, you should never really be buying light shields after the second round, because the enemy can one-shot headshot you with the rifles anyways. In terms of guns that you can save, keep in mind mathematically that you should save a Spectre or any gun that's higher in credits. Assuming you use your abilities, you would get 1000 credits from your save for full shields, and you should have enough in store if you follow this guide to buy all of your abilities. Finally, a full buy, which looks like either a Vandal or Phantom plus heavy shields and abilities, or around 4500 credits. You can also buy an operator, however, in terms of pro play, a lot of teams aren't running it, and instead running a team of 5 riflers, because the operator just doesn't give as much impact as it used to. If you do the math in terms of credits, according to Riot, an operator user with no shields and no abilities should have just as much impact as a Phantom or Vandal user with full shields, abilities, and 500 extra credits. In terms of the game right now, that doesn't seem true, and the addition of a new really big map, Breeze, feels like a band-aid to what the operator should be. Either way, the key number of credits to save for a rifle, full shields, and abilities is approximately 4500 credits, depending on the agent. With that in mind, I have compiled this tier list of all these guns together, and this is what it would look like based on pro usage. Keep in mind that the Classic is also used second round for losses. Again, not just pistol round. A tier are guns that are optimal. B tier are guns that should be used occasionally in some scenarios. C tier are guns that should be used sparingly, like almost near to none. And D tier are guns that just shouldn't be used. You should really be focusing only on A and B tier guns. Every other gun in the game hasn't really seen much usage, and it makes sense why. Notice how Judge and Odin are used more often than Bucky and Ares. That makes sense for their costs. The Ares and Odin aren't valued because there are other guns that kill faster if you headshot. The Bucky and Judge aren't valued because they aren't good long range and cost too much when you can just save with the Sheriff. Rest in peace Stinger. The Guardian shoots slower, and the Vandal can just one-shot headshot. The Marshal is good because it acts like an operator second round, but it doesn't transition well for third round when everyone has rifles. The Shorty isn't bad, it's just, why would you buy it when you can just buy a Sheriff and one-shot headshot at most ranges? Every one of these guns in C or D tier aren't bad by any means. They're just used for case-by-case scenarios, while the other guns in A and B tier can be used in multiple scenarios. And yeah, that's it for today's video.
Tell me why ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell